There's so many issues and emotions with all of this, and you know, for me, I found out that I was adopted at a late time in my life, and I've met a lot of people who also found out that way. But first thing I want to say is, you know, they always got these reasons of why we can't get our birth certificates now because of what would happen. I just realized that I'm an example of what would happen if you don't get them. Like, I'm DMC, you know, from the rapper Run-DMC and everything that I was able to accomplish in my life. And I lived a very good life, you know. Fortunately, my foster parents had me as a foster kid, decided that keep me. I'm going to keep this one. Keep a little chubby one. And I was able to go on and do what I was put here to do. But then, I want the people who made up all these sickening laws to realize, yeah, there's a lot of pain in adoption and being given up, and a lot of emotions that the adoptee, the birth parents and adoptive parents have a right to deal with, go through. You have a right to feel those and express it, happy, sadness, anger, whatever it is. But I'm realizing sitting here today, reading all this stuff that I've seen up on the screen and hearing these people's testimony, the most painful thing about all this, you know, to the legislators and the politicians and the governors and the presidents that make all these laws, is realizing I'm one of those people that can't have access to something that is spiritually, universally, humanly. How many names can we apply to my existence? It hurts to realize that I'm one of those people that can't have that like everybody else is. And like I'm saying, they're so worried about what would happen if I get it. I was at a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. First to go gold, first to go platinum, first on the cover of Rolling Stone, first with the sneaker. Life was perfect. But something deep down in my life was missing. And I woke up one day and I had to address that. And, you know, you get a lot of adoptees that say, you know, I don't need to go, I'm okay. And they say that, and it's, you know, it's their decision. But I guarantee you, as soon as they say that, as soon as they speak it, as soon as they think it, they feel what we all feel in this. And I didn't know what it was to the point that I was going to kill myself. You know what I'm saying? I was going to kill myself because there was something that just wasn't right with Darryl, not DMC. DMC is always going to be the greatest rapper ever. There was something wrong with Darryl McDaniels. That human being that was born just like everybody else in the world. And I had no idea what it was. And just in case I might have lost my life, I could have overdosed, jumped out a window, had all these thoughts of trying to figure out how to commit suicide. I didn't do it because I thought, man, if I jump out the window and don't die, it's going to hurt. But I knew something was wrong with me. And just in case I didn't go on, I wanted people to know who Darryl was. Like, me, Darryl, this human being, not DMC, Darryl McDaniels. My identity, my existence was Run-DMC, Byford and Banner McDaniels. My mother and father at the time, I didn't know I was adopted yet. And I put all these things together and I was like, something was missing. So I said, I'm gonna write a book. And I just want to tell the world, I'm Darryl McDaniels, who happens to be DMC. First to go gold, first to go platinum, first on the cover of Rolling Stones, all that boring stuff. And I called my mother and I said, Ma, I was born May 31st, 1964. I know that. You know, I said, how much did I weigh? What hospital and what time? Those are things you need. You want to know about yourself. You know, you need to know how did you come into existence and what was involved in making me. You know what I'm saying? So she said, oh, he was born in New York Hospital with 8:22 in the evening. You're weighing, you know, 9 pounds, 10 ounces or whatever. Hung up the phone. Sitting there typing away to get the information to the writer, and an hour later, the phone rings, and my mother and father go, we have something else to tell you. And I said, well, you was a month old when we brought you home and you're adopted. And it hit me, and that information came when I was ready to commit suicide. So now finding out at age 35 that you're adopted, that's a real good reason to go jump out the window. You know what I'm saying? But something in me, that little void in me was filled. Yes, I'm Darryl McDaniels. Yes, you know, Byford Banner is my mother and father. Yes, I'm the Run-DMC guy. Yes, but my life is the way that, but I'm also adopted. So once I found that information out, that made me realize something. There's a whole part of my existence in life that is out there that I need to know about, because it ain't the government's right to decide if it's good for me. It's not even the birth parents. I understand when they did that, but she just laid the facts down. But how can this world or universe we live in hide behind secrets and lies that actually say the way that I happened didn't happen, and they want to put that out to the world like that is the truth? So not only my whole life, I was living a lie, you know, whether it was to protect me or not, but everybody involved in the process of an adoptee not having access to their original birth certificate is really, really like a plague, a disease, something that is polluting this earth that we live on. I am not ashamed whether it was unfortunate of how I happened. And the birth mothers and the adoptive parents and the lawmakers shouldn't be ashamed of how this life came into existence. I don't care. If I was born in the back of a cab, I want to know that. That's part of who I am. If my mother and father left me on thankfully they didn't do it, on the steps of the firehouse, I need to know that. But when I found out that I was adopted, it wasn't about me telling my adoptive parents you're not my mother and father. No. The reason why I did this search was I needed to see where this story, this life, this existence began. There was a beginning. And me and Sarah always make a joke. They won't get it. The people that wrote that law saying, just because you're adopted, we're ashamed of you and we don't like it. That's almost like we don't, oh, your mother was 16 years old when you was born. We don't like that, so we're going to treat you different. What gives them that right? Because my mother was 16 years old when she had it. They're saying something's wrong with my existence. And, to sum it up was this. This was great because, like you said, in the music business, compromise is good. In the music business, you don't never get what you worth. You only get what you negotiate. But once you get that inch, you can get the next inch and the next inch and the next inch and the next inch. You gotta understand, our fight isn't with each other, it's with the laws. You know what I'm saying? But me and Sarah said this, okay, we could go picket and we could curse and we could fight and we gotta protest and we gotta have meetings like this. But me and Sarah said, and people think it's a joke when we say it, but it's so real. The people that made that law won't get it until we wake up and remove all of their information, kidnap their mothers and fathers, and tell them, we don't like what you're doing, so we're going to treat you differently. They won't get it until they feel what the adoptee is feeling. My birth mother said to me, I always thought about you every day. I thought I wasn't able to contact you. She told me that. And she said, every day I see her, my reunion fortunately was good, every day she says, is this the day? Huh? If you're angry, mad, I think about it, let me see if I'm mad. No, I'm not mad that I was born in, I think adoption was good for me. You know what I'm saying? Because look, abortion could have been a whole other issue. I might not have even been here. That's a whole other story. But it was good for me. But the adoption process is not complete until, regardless of the way we happen, and the way my birth mother and father had to give me up, the birth mother gave me up, regardless of all of that, there's no way in the world, anybody in this world now, after sitting here today, can convince me that there's no reason in the world you can convince me that I don't deserve access tomorrow morning walking out to my house to my birth records. They're saying there's something wrong with me. They don't like me because of the way that I'm happening. Now I realize before I even knew about that, something happened to me to cause me to think that I was different. But even when I found out that I was adopted, it didn't make me feel like I'm adopted. I felt like everybody else. Since I realized I'm like everybody else, I'm not like everybody else until I get my birth certificate.